Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Soulight, Hypnotherapy and Tarot. My name is Kirsten, and I have another Trump-related video for you guys today. Today I'm using my 12 Chairs Tarot deck, and I'm also using, as 12 Chairs, I'm also using Sibilla and Divina and Lavera Sibilla to do this reading. It's a Trump-related reading, and it's a weekly reading. I'm just asking for what events might be affecting Trump's presidency in the collective this week. But it may play out over a longer period of time, give or take a week or two. So, before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you are subscribed, you think you're subscribed, just double check and make sure you're subscribed, because something's been happening with people's subscriptions. And also, while you're there, make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. I'd like to ask you to please share my videos with your friends, with your Facebook and social media, and hit that like button and leave your comments. Okay, let's get started. We have the Seven of Swords, Hermit, High Priestess, the Death card, the Tower card, the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and everything else are clarifiers. Alright. So, in this section of the reading, it's going to represent the events that may be coming up as an issue around Trump's presidency, affecting Trump and affecting the collective. And in this section, this represents any exterior energies to Trump and how they'll be acting or reacting in regards to these events. Or to Trump. Trump's energy is here, Trump's actions, reactions, what he is likely to do in the near future, and how the events will unfold. Alright, most likely outcomes or just the unfolding of the event. Let's get started. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords represents a lot of things, and since it's representing events that are, affecting Trump and affecting his presidency and affecting the collective as a result of his presidency, it can have a lot of different meanings, okay? So what it may represent coming up in the next couple of weeks are sneaks, criminals, and cons, deceit, cheating, conniving, intriguing plans, someone keeping secrets and doing shady things behind our collective backs. This could be one person doing this or many people doing this. I see several sneaks here in this card. When you have the Seven of Swords in tarot, you're definitely suspicious of someone's goings-ons and doings. This card represents events around Trump's presidency, affecting Trump and the collective this week. So, sneaks represent Trump and other individuals. The big question on my mind and on the mind of many others is, why do the Republicans, I'm raising my voice on purpose, why are they still following this shady air sign? Why is that? We are collectively intrigued by this Pied Piper of doom that has so much sway over his followers and over the Republicans in Congress. What the hell? So, Seven of Swords. Like I said, it represents a lot of things. A sneaky, shady person or persons. I feel there are several sneaks here. It can represent hacks, invisible enemies, someone who cheats and steals. This energy can steal anything from you. Your time, your energy, your money, your plans, your data on your computer, the information that you need to make smart choices for your life, your vote, your identity. It can steal the identities of dead people. With all of its tricks, it can steal your goddamn common sense. Because we're all getting swindled by this con here. This con. This con man. This swindle. This fraud. This fucking scam. It's all a fucking scam, guys. And we're all getting cheated. Any more questions? This is a big con affecting the collective, affecting Trump's presidency. And why do they continue to not see who he really is? They continue to pat this motherfucker on the back. Just when I was making my dramatic. Gotta have some fun with it, guys. They still pat this motherfucker on the back. The Republicans and Trump's followers. This Seven of Swords can represent... What happened here? It can represent... Give me a second. I'm just looking for some more putty to adhere my card. The Seven of Swords can represent secret dealings and meetings. The cards want to talk about that. Secret dealings and meetings that have gone on and are going on right now, behind our backs right now, as I am speaking to you and when you're listening to this. Secrets and dishonesty. The truth is being covered up from the collective on purpose, not only by this air sign, Gemini, Trump, but by a lot of people. The collective they, let's call them the they. And did I mention data hacks? And stealing identities from both the living and the dead, cyber cheating. They're covering all of this shit up right now, even now, not telling us. On purpose. It represents the virus, the invisible enemy, which they also continue to cover up significant information about the virus, its reality, its truth, and its purpose. These are the events that my cards want to talk to you about today. Hopefully you're listening. And this is for this time period of the next 10 days, and it could take a little bit longer to play out. And I just gave you the breakdown of what these events may entail. There's a lot of deceit, cover-up, and avoidance upon the collective, right? Deceit and cover-up and avoidance upon the collective. And it's coming from Trump, and it's coming from the Republicans, and it's coming from the government. Is coming from the media too. After this unfolds, after this plays out, it's going to resonate a lot more clearly to you. So make sure you watch this video and all of my videos back at least a second time after the time frame of the reading has passed. If you do that, you will see how the reading has come true, and you will see how the energy, which is all that these cards represent, actually manifested or developed, okay? So you'll see that tarot is very accurate. You know, the system is accurate. Seven of Swords can also represent betrayal and deception that goes undetected and unnoticed. So this represents something that is happening right now, right under our nose, that we don't know about it. And there's an energy here that is getting away with something. And this getting away has something to do with sneaking and spying and lying. It has something to do with dishonesty around our vote and around the virus. They're getting away with something. It's many different people. I don't know how it will unfold. We'll see. I've asked the divine to help me to see what it is that they're not telling us. And one thing that has come to my mind about what they're not telling us is the actual deadliness of the virus. All right, Trump and they, the collective they, anyone who could give us the truth, including the media, is not telling us the truth or saying directly what is truly happening right now in respect to this virus and in respect to the deceit and the information given around this virus. Information from Trump, information from scientists, and even information from the media is being held back. And now let me preface what I'm about to say as being for entertainment purposes only. Because the cards are revealing to me right here and now that the virus is Trump's genocide upon America. Trump weaponized the virus. Trump and the collective they, whoever the they is, whoever's in on it, and it's more than one person, they weaponized the virus. They did so with foreknowledge and malice of intent to misinform everyone, including the governors, whom Trump put all the responsibility on to keep the people safe in their states. He didn't give them correct information. He weaponized the virus so that he could kill his non-supporters and people of color that he hates. You know, Hitler, in addition to over 6 million Jews, also annihilated over 5 million non-Jews. Gypsies and Jehovah's Witnesses and homosexuals and black people, physically and mentally disabled people, and political opponents of Hitler. That was Hitler's genocide, and the coronavirus is Trump's. There, I said it, and they're never going to. He and they weaponized the virus so that they could impact and influence the vote in the election, to go in his favor, to cause havoc, and to cause chaos to the voting process. They weaponized the virus to kill you too, Trump follower, if you're listening, and hopefully you're not, because I'm really not talking to you. But if you are listening, he weaponized the virus to kill you too. Right? If you're stupid enough to get caught in the line of his fire so he can get what he wants, then you too, Trump follower, will go down, will fall. And you know what? He's okay. They are okay with that. In fact, they know that you'll jump at the chance to take the bullet for him, to give your life for this ideology, for this movement, for this cult. Wake up! You're in a cult, people. This is a government coup, people. Wake up. And he's using you, and hopefully even your children, if he can convince you to put them back in school, to transfer this virus to all of his opponents. He wants you to risk your life so that he can get reelected. Yet, even though this is all obvious now, right, to anybody paying attention, wanting to see the truth, you still continue to follow him down the yellow brick road to your doom. To the country's doom. And it's intriguing to me and to all of us what it is you define as sanity. And it's obvious to me, and this is just my own personal opinion, that a third of the country, of the United States, is hateful and crazy and fucking insane. On another layer, the Seven of Swords can represent someone who is sneaking around in the shadows, lying, deceiving, and possibly this is an air sign, picking up air, Rudy Giuliani. It could be someone else who's laying a track of deceit for us to follow. And why would anyone follow this guy either? Or the track that he lays? Yet they do. Conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory. Another energy is here, being represented by the Seven Swords. Oh my God, I'm so tired. And this energy is avoiding telling the truth. It is avoiding legal consequences. And motherfuckers getting away with it. They're getting away with their crime. And they're lying. They are guilty, and we already know that they're guilty, but they're getting off, even though they lied. It's possibly a man with dark hair. Not sure who it is. We'll let it unfold. When I clarify this Seven of Swords, both the impediment card and the sincere friend fell out. Impediment is telling me that I do think that Trump and his team were all caught off guard, surprised by the voice recordings released around the Edwards book, which I called out in my last reading, my previous reading. I said that there would be some scandal dropping, and it would involve voice recordings. I thought it would be around Cohen's book, but there were several books that dropped last week, so I'll give myself a break on that. So I'm going to say I predicted it, voice recordings, right? And these voice recordings say everything, yet there's people still reassuring him, still giving him the okay. Spirit wants us to know that Donald Trump's playing down of the virus, as was recorded in his own voice, in his own words, he said he played it down. It did cause greater death and greater calamity on America than it needed to as a result of his playing it down. All right, the country is doing worse economically as a result as well. Had he been more honest, we wouldn't be in as bad shape as we are in now. It says that he also has a deeper, darker secret and reason for playing it down, for downplaying the severity of the virus, and I already told you what that is. He and they collectively weaponize the virus. And even the media is not going to tell you that, folks. That's from me to you. That's from the cards to you today. And this is just for entertainment purposes only. He will be asked if he takes any responsibility for any of the deaths, and he will say no. Not even one death will he take responsibility for. I am also seeing a continued stall in the relief bill. All right? And I feel like this is Nancy Pelosi trying to work some things out, but I still feel like there is refusal to come to an agreement on a relief bill, on a third package. Now, hold on to yourselves. There's one more thing. This is a shocker for you guys to all digest, and, remember, it's just a reading for entertainment purposes only. This death card and this tower card in Trump's position is telling me that Trump might die in the next week or two. Give or take a week or two. So maybe between now and the next month, there's a possibility of Trump dying. Just want to give you a minute to let that sink in. Imagine what that would look like, feel like. Under what circumstances could that happen? Trump might die? What? Now, normally the death card doesn't actually represent a physical death. But when I clarified it with 2 different Sibilla decks, and in each deck, the death card came out to clarify the death card in the tarot. So, and there's even a coffin depicted in the layout. So, I think somebody's going to die. It could be Trump, it could be someone close to him. Very close to him. And those are the energies that I see here, and it's a possibility. Okay? I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm just saying it's a strong possibility. Right? And I'm not sure who it will apply to. It will be unexpected, it will be a shocker. It will be out of the blue, a sudden death or an ending or a big revelation. Any of these things it could represent, right? This sudden happening brings an end to Trump. It could be metaphorical, it could be literal. Again, I clarified the death card, and I got 2 death cards from 2 different decks. Clarified it. Infantilism and Morte. If it's not Trump's death or the death of someone close to him, then the energies are alluding to the end of his era, either way. Perhaps it's referring to, or in addition it is referring to, all the cataclysmic death, the death toll, 200,000 we're going to reach it in this time period. And which I already told you, Trump takes not even responsibility for one death. Doesn't take any responsibility for it. Infantilism clarifies, I'm thinking more so the Tower than the death card. It represents Trump, who's been tormented with something, mentally and psychologically tormented by something, right? What he's been tormented by is shockingly revealed. Bam! It's explosive. It's bad. It's really, really bad. He resigns himself to the end or to death. Or maybe he's resigning from this job, or he's resigning himself to the fact that it's out, right? It's hard to tell exactly what he's resigning himself from. He's resigning himself from something. Is it from life? Is it from the job? Is it to the fact that this shit is over, man? You're dead? You're done? We'll see how it plays out. This can also be referring to his emotional detachment and inability to handle or take responsibility for death. Like a child. You can't handle it. I don't know if the stock market is actually being talked about here, because I don't see the wheel card or the fortune card, which for me are stock market indicators. But I do see that even though we are already in severe economic collapse, that the economy gets even worse. I'm seeing an infidelity and a betrayal that is discovered around Trump. It could be around his rape of that 14-year-old girl, allegedly. It could be around some other infidelity or rape that he was involved with. It could be around his rape and betrayal to America and her people and its resources. Whatever it is, it's huge. It's huge, and it's very damning. Morte says there's no coming back from this. This is the smoking gun, folks. And I'm also seeing poison and gas and toxic smoke, toxic air, maybe involved in the death of someone. And Trump and his, either Trump or his ambassador will talk it down, downplay it, negate it, or deny the evidence. Now back to Morte. Morte in Sibilla represents the end of a life cycle, closure and liberation from an oppressing situation. Hallelujah! Somehow, some way, it brings closure to this Trump era. I don't know what form it will take. I've already told you what form it might take. I do think someone will die unexpectedly. Could be Trump, could be someone close to him, via heart attack, stroke, poisoning, disaster, the illness, or through this revelation that will mark the end of the presidency. This can all still be avoided, actually. It's not set in stone. But that's where the energies are strongly headed. We may have to take it to the highest court before it's over, the cards are saying. Needless to say, this change or this ending that Trump will be involved in is unwanted by Trump, and things will never be the same again. The cards are saying you can't go back to the past. You can't come back from this. I do see a drastic change to his financial status and to the financial status of the country as a result of swindles and dishonesty. As a result of swindles and dishonesty. The protector here, which also clarifies the Tower and the Death card, represents the departure of a beloved character. So this could be the departure of someone that Trump loves, or the departure of Trump. Not that he's beloved, but he's beloved by some. But we'll have to see how this plays out, guys. Wow, I'm curious how this is going to unfold. So stay tuned. Next, let's go to, let me just adjust my camera, sorry. Let's go to the High Priestess and the Hermit. This represents exterior energies to what's going on in the events, and exterior energies to Trump. So anybody or anything besides Trump, right? The Hermit and the High Priestess tells me that buried secrets are uncovered, but they are still kept secret and quiet. So there's an investigation into hidden secrets, or an investigation into an investigation. Secrets, classified information, classified intel, and digging deeper into intelligence. Perhaps this is the Mueller or Durham investigation being delved into. I do feel like something is offered up. It's a surprise. It's supposed to be a big, devastating surprise. But the surprise is deceitful. It's next to the card of deceit and dishonesty. Okay. I think that the woman, I forget her name, who resigned recently out of the blue from the Durham investigation into the Mueller investigation, is represented here in these cards. I also think that there's a man here, possibly with dark hair, who may offer up some information that is secret or intel as to why they left, why they did what they did. They may be giving further information as to into the corruption and the treachery that they witnessed. But this may all be done in private, behind closed doors, being kept quiet. The High Priestess doesn't talk. She keeps her secrets. These secrets are kept classified. But I do see information being discussed. And what is being said and what is being talked about is in regards to treason, betrayal, and treachery to the country. A treacherous male or air sign energy is being discussed or is the one doing the talking. I clarified these cards even further, and I got the despair and the disgrazia, which is like another tower card. 2 tower cards in a reading. Shit's gonna blow up, right? Next 10 days for sure. Despair, telling maybe this female's reaction, maybe what she's telling or what she's sharing or what he's telling, what he's sharing, is about bullying tactics at work. This energy has experience and has evidence of being bullied at work. Maybe being asked to do something unfair or illegal, as this energy is afraid of facing serious legal problems as a result of complying to a request. Right? And there's some kind of evidence as to this request. This energy felt so much pressure. And I do feel, and I think it's the woman, I think she was bullied into resigning. I don't know if she resigned because of she thought it was the right thing to do. I mean, I think she was kind of bullied into resigning. Maybe she felt like she had no other choice. So, not clear on who these people are. I'm just making my guess. A woman and a male is offering up some information behind closed doors, and it may involve this Durham investigation or an investigation into classified information. Stuff that we won't know about, stuff that they're going to keep private, right? But I do feel like parts of it are offered, right? But what's offered is deceitful. Gifts represents surprise, a huge surprise. It's next to the Tower card. It's a big surprise. It's supposed to be explosive. It's supposed to be explosive. I'm hoping this is all playing out well. I can't see. My eyesight has been so bad. I've been kind of afraid to go to the eye doctor and get new glasses. So I'm blind as a bat, to be honest with you. I'm hoping that you guys can see everything clearly in this video. And the Jack of Spades reverse represents a treacherous man or treachery, right? I'll be glad when this election is over. I will be so glad when Trump is gone. So, where these events, which I already told you could be a myriad of things, are headed is to this Four of Pentacles here. Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. Let's drop this a little bit lower. I'm not sure how far ahead this is. I'm seeing that we may need to shut down again in the future, but I doubt it'll be while Trump is in office. So that's just telling me I'm not sure about the timeline here. It's just saying we're going to need to shut down again in the future. We definitely need to protect ourselves right now. Can you guys see? We definitely need to protect ourselves right now, as we are very vulnerable to cyber attack. From foreign enemies attacking us, and from hacks. The Thought card, which clarifies the Four of Pentacles, is saying that we are particularly vulnerable and we will really have to protect ourselves. At the same time, we have to get out of our homes and we have to save our country. We have to protect our country so that it can continue to protect us. And these cards are talking about someone getting shot in the back of the shoulders over here. So I don't know if it's talking about a shooting or if it's talking about a prediction or if it's talking about the past, because it's making me think of Jacob Blake, who was shot 7 times in the back, and I'm seeing black anger here. So there may be some issue here that becomes greater as we draw closer to the election. Maybe it's involving Jacob Blake's situation. This may have to go to the highest court in relation to this case. I'm seeing a lot of black anger next to this issue. The Knight of Wands represents intimidation, getting stronger as we get closer to voting day. Intimidation and threats coming from Trump. People are feeling vulnerable, threatened, intimidated, fearful of getting shot, something about shooting. And they're fearful of coming out and voting, which tells me maybe Trump doesn't die. Maybe Trump doesn't, have a heart attack or get shot or whatever. I don't know what I'm seeing, what the potential is here, but there's potential for something to go down, but maybe it's not his death, because there's still fear and intimidation around a vote. Okay, so don't get too excited. He might still be here. I'm seeing intimidation around the vote. Maybe what's going to happen is that there is a big revelation, right? Something that he's been tormented about comes out. Finally, it comes out. And when it comes out, it's a big shocker. It ought to be the end of him. It ought to be the nail in his coffin. But remember how I was just like talking about, bam, why are they still following him? It ought to be. Ought to be. I'm still seeing Trump fighting and fighting dirty. His team fighting, using all the tactics that they can to win, to hold on to their station, to their appointment. Using fear and scare tactics in spite of what is about to happen. I do feel that there is a refusal to back down from Trump and refusal to back down from the collective, from black people. I think that the collective and black people of color are going to come out, and we are going to vote in spite of any intimidation or threats. But there's a lot of tension building, and there is a lot of preparation being made to protect our rights, our votes, and our lives that do matter. Black lives do matter. The City House reverse represents continued conflicts in the House and disagreements. This is a dysfunctional house, and the house in Sibilla can represent your actual house can represent the government, the country, the White House, the system of government and institutions within the system. I'm seeing long delays around voting and counting the vote, and many missing black votes. So, I'm sorry I got you excited over here. I don't know. I don't think he dies. And I don't think he dies. I don't even know if he gets shot. There's a potential. Okay, the energies are here. There's a potential. I'm thinking it's something huge that comes out about Trump, and it ought to be the nail in the coffin. It ought to be the nail in the coffin, yet he's still here, doubling down. They're all still doubling down. And he's fighting alongside with the enemy to betray us. So that's all I got for you guys. We'll see how this plays out. Give it 10 days and check back on the reading again. Make sure to check out all my readings at least twice, okay? Because you'll see that the energy did play out. It may not play out exactly as I thought it did, but if you listen to the energy of the cards are always accurate. They will tell you. And you'll see, oh, that's what that meant. You'll get it. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Blessings. Bye.